it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk, and we are going to talk medium tanks again. Trying to get this to go. All right, we are in the Panzer 58/Mutz kind of tank, premium tier 8 German medium tank, and I'm running, as you can see, Wertstab, Rammer, and Turbsky, all bounty versions. And currently, I'm not running food. I'm not sure why. Somebody mentioned that, and I thought maybe that I had switched it over to the automatic fire extinguisher version of the setup, but I haven't. I'll have to check that. I have been running food quite a bit. I'm a little bit surprised I don't have the food running in there. We are top tier in a 2-tier battle, and I am going to, and we are going to, talk about medium positioning. We had a video a while back, and I said it was on a map, Studzianski, I believe, that has a fairly clear medium, here's where mediums go, part of the map. It happens to be in the south of the map. And that's similar to this one because you will find a lot of mediums go down into the south. You can see the STG and the Mars are going down there. Now, I will tell you that it's a fine place for mediums to go. I think it's the intended wargaming position for mediums. You would not be wrong necessarily for going down there and fighting in that area. Why am I not doing that? Well, if I look at the setup, the only heavies they have is an IS-22, a T-26E5, and a T-34B, and I am top tier at tier 8. I find this part of the map to be more important. The fight here generally resolves itself faster than the south, which generally means whoever wins the north creates themselves a nice advantage. And because of the tiering of this battle, and my relative strength in it, even as a medium, I have gone to where I believe is the more important part of the map to win. If you can win the south quickly and move up to the middle, then you can certainly make good things happen. But the problem is the south is going to be covered up in TDs sitting in the back, and there are a number of TDs sitting here, and the mediums have a hard time pushing without getting shredded, so I find the south to be very static. That doesn't mean every time. I'm talking about going with the percentages here. So I will often, with my mediums, as we're now talking about mediums and positioning, put myself into more of the heavy area and add my gun to the thrash and see if I can be annoying, see if I can use my speed and mobility to get shots in like that. I almost know I'm going to be the first one around that corner and surprise that guy. So we've already taken a chunk of hit points off of him. A medium in a situation like this, another guy just crosses. He's not even thinking about what's going on. We put a shot on him. A medium in a position like this, I just should have kept backing out, but I didn't want him to hit me. Has a lot of advantages. Now, what are the disadvantages of going to this position if you're playing a medium and you ignore the traditional medium spot? Well, I've taken a gun from the south, haven't I? Right? So they've sent the T-20, their CS-52, their LIS. And to be honest, it looks like we're probably in good shape down there. And pulling one gun, maybe from the medium area, is probably not that big a deal. Especially if that one gun can do good work up here where the heavies are. So this map is, I would say, one of the maps where Wargaming would traditionally believe mediums should go down to the south with TDs and light tanks backing them up. This guy. I don't understand that. I think he pushes forward at some point. But he's absolutely showing his lower plate for one. And he's blocking me where I was holding this spot. And yeah, sure, I get pissy. There you go. You will notice that the KV-3 says something about me going to play with the mediums. Reference everything I just said. That's probably never going to happen. That's a fairly strong turret, especially at that angle right there. But we're going to investigate the different angles and possibilities on the map here. He does have that little hatch on the top that's a weak spot, but when it is back slope like that, it's going to be difficult to pin. All right. Yeah, bro, why don't you go play with the mediums so they don't get R-worded, oh wait, look. Okay, let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. 65T's sort of overextended himself there. We're going to have a hard time peeling the T-34B out of that position. And meanwhile, our heavies up here aren't doing very well. The TA-32 is already dead. So here comes this dude. We'll try to put a shot in there. Get a bounce with some angling. That'll work. KV-3. Credit to him. He's actually side scraping now, so good. That's a good thing. But I'm starting to not like this situation right here very much. So I am going to pull back. Try to ambush these guys when they come into the middle right here and work this as best I can. I don't know what this guy's doing. Looks like he was AFK for a moment. So the KV-3, he's our bait. Might even be able to get some bounces. The 65T, there's no sense in pushing into the middle and letting them just start shooting me. 65T, if you can take a few hit points off along the way, that'll be fine. Looks like that's what he's done. And now he is gone. It's 5-5. Looks like the South is holding on. Not too bad. But we've got a lot of heavies here that we've got to deal with. Sort of waiting. You can see we've got the LTG, the Ferdinand. I don't know what he's so far back. He's not even in the battle. I guess maybe he's trying to get shots on the RHM. So I have disappeared and I'm not around lately. So the last time they saw me was there. I'm just going to hang out here. I'm not going to let this T-26 know that I'm waiting for him, because if he sees me, he's not going to push up and over. What I want to do is have him come up and over, so you can see I'm working the angles here. Here comes the IS-22. Actually missed that. So we'll put a shot on him. Now he's thinking about coming in. And here's one of the nice things about a medium in these heavy spots, fellas, is the rate of fire, how fast you can get your shots off, are much faster than the heavy, so you can get inside their rate of fire pretty easily. So we're just starting to dish out the paint on these guys now. He gets a shot on the KV-3. He's hung up with this T-34B, which costs him 270 hit points. That can be very frustrating, guys, when you're trying to push. Of course, the 34B probably thought he'd just push in, and then they could start getting shots on guys. And that would have been a good idea. Because I think if they'd have pushed in, they would have eventually taken down the KV-3 pretty easily. I'm surprised I penned that, to be honest. It was highly angled, but that armor's not amazing. Put another shot into him. And now I've got an LTG behind me, so I've got to deal with him. I can't let him just shoot me multiple times. Bit lucky right there, but I made that shot happen. I've got to finish him off before I can do anything else. So we'll shoot him a couple times. He gets one on us. That sucks. I've got to push in and get him dead. There we go. I'm glad that the Super Hellcat or something else over there didn't have shots on me, and the Arty also did not pay attention to me. Good on the KV-3, held them off for a while. The Ferdinand finally moves up. Although that was quite a long shot from him. There's Scorpions in there as well. And that really just sort of breaks it for us up here in the north. Mars dies. That's unfortunate. Down goes the TS-5. Very helpful. So now we can do medium things, mid to late game, right? We're in the late game. We've got mobility. We're going to start moving around the map. We've been hanging out with the heavies, doing work with those guys. I wanted to take a quick peek here and see if I couldn't surprise the RHM. I also didn't want to eat 750 hit points of damage from the big gun. Even the, 390, 400, whatever it is, from the smaller gun was going to hurt at this point. So we're going to change our stars, fellas. We're going to go somewhere else. This is medium gameplay. It's what you do mid to late game. Use that speed. I fought the whole game up there in the heavy zone. So I'm going to go ahead and cruise down here and try to change the fight a little bit. Let's go find the Super Hellcat if we can. What do we got? We got a Super, we got an RHM. I don't expect the RHM is going to move around much. He could. The longer he's unspotted, the further he can be away from that last spot. The Super Hellcat for sure is fast. So I really want to try to find that guy and get rid of him. Killing the Arty would be nice as well. I see the Scorpion moving. The Ferdinand has fallen back again. I don't know. I don't know, fellas. There's just not a whole lot you can do sometimes. Oh, we find that dude over there. But this works out because he pushed to where we were, and he's going to give me an opportunity to start putting shots on him. Scorpion's working on him. Arty tracks him. Good on him. I'll put a track on him. And we shut him down. So very nice. RHM got our Scorpion, unfortunately. So now it's just me and the Ferdinand. We've got RHM and 2 artillery to deal with. The Udez is moving up, so good on him there. Considered getting on cap, but that's kind of dumb. The RHM works his way back, gets me spotted. 2 artillery hit me. Not great. So unless I can actually shut down the RHM because he exposed himself too much and I could react fast enough, I'm just letting them have free information on where I might be. Now, if the Lorraine or the Udez jumps on it while I'm forward, then fine, so be it. That may draw those guys out and get me some shots. Ferdinand is, again, I don't know what he's doing, but we get this guy moving along. We find him. We'll push down here and try to finish this dude off. I get slapped by the RHM for the 600, so he does have the big gun on, unfortunately. That sucked. Get him dead, but the RHM is a one-shot. I'm kind of worried about their artillery hitting me. Ours goes in towards him. We'll turn around, and now I'm just doing guesswork. Is he going to try to push me this way? Is he swinging around the other way? Is he already going to come one direction, him the other? The Ferdinand is finally kind of starting to move forward there. The Udez comes in to start to add another gun to the fray, so now I'm feeling a lot better about this. We do have the 1 artillery. He should be reloaded by now. Just kind of trying to look where this guy might be. That was more to try to get a proxy light. I don't want to come around the corner there because I don't have enough hit points to survive a splash, really, or a hit from the RHM. The Lorraine is putting pressure on them, so they sort of have to do something. If they want to try to win, they're going to have to break cover, and we've got so many guys now surrounding him. We're in pretty good shape. Now I know both of them are in the same place. They are not trying to push me underneath the tracks right here. I'm actually going to go wide. So we'll come around this way, see if we can get a shot on this dude. I'm prioritizing. I was initially trying to prioritize the RHM. Couldn't quite do it. Of course. Yep. There we go. So the really hard shot hits, but the easy one is a crit no damage, of course. Not quite fast enough. The Artie gets the last kill, and we end up with 4,145 damage, 300 bounced, and 299 assists with 4 kills, fellas. Doing medium things. Positioning, mediums. Jack of all trades, right? The Swiss Army knife. They can do some of everything. And like we've talked about with all the medium videos that we've done, take a look at the map, the match, your matchmaking, your position in the matchmaking, and then make a decision on what kind of medium you want to be. Yes, there are usually medium areas on maps. Usually. Is that true? Let's call it often. Not usually necessarily. But there are often places on maps where Wargaming or most players will go, all right, that's kind of where mediums go. If you decide not to do that, make sure you do that with a good reason. And generally for me, it's when I go to a heavy area, it's because I can afford to, at least in terms of the way I'm assessing the map, match, and matchmaking. And if I do that, I need to contribute, get in there, get shots. And I'm glad I was there up in the north because we lose that if I wasn't. Now, opportunity cost. Does that mean we maybe lost the South because I wasn't there? Possibly. But you're one player. You can't be in every place at once. So if you make a position decision, at least be effective in that position and flow on from there. And then mid to late game, you saw the maneuverability of the tank. Even the little things such as chasing the light tank. A heavy's going to have a harder time getting to that LTG. That LTG came up behind me, good on him. Starts harassing, trying to help his heavies win that, but I'm fast enough as a medium to kind of swing around, chase him down, and he can't quite get away from me. That's not something a lot of times a heavy can do, so make sure you're playing your tanks to the strengths. That is all I've got for today, guys. Have a fantastic one, and we will see ya.